Well, today's an interesting day. Having done a load of work with Barry over the last couple of weeks, which I'm sure you've all watched. If you haven't, you really ought to. I've got someone who I'm interested to chat to, and hopefully you'll find his answers relatively interesting too. I'm joined by Mike Tovey, who is a 18-year served Dick Lovett Motorrad employee. Now, I will say we won't touch all of this man's knowledge because we simply don't have enough time, but his knowledge of the Motorrad lineup over the last 18 years is nothing short of encyclopedic. That's a word. So I'm going to ask him 10 relatively quick fire questions so you can get the best of his knowledge on any decision you might make for a bike. And if that interests you, that would be awesome. Hit subscribe, hit like, write a comment, perhaps ask a question you think Mike should have answered. And if you think his opinion is bullshit, get a job at Dick Lovett and you can tell him yourself. So Mike, thank you for joining me.
Thanks.
So, firstly, how many bikes have you had in total?
Owned?
Yeah.
Over 70, somewhere between 70 and 100 motorbikes.
Somewhere between 70 and 100 bikes. So I thought I was doing bad at 28. So it makes me look relatively sensible, I have to tell my wife. When you joined Motorrad, the first question I think I'm really interested to know, what's the first Motorrad BMW bike that you thought, that's the bike?
Twin cam GS. Took it on holiday. And I've only ridden those ever since, really. GS's.
So, it's interesting for me when people like me have had a GS, but employees go, that's the bike, and still ride them. So if you weren't going to own a GS, if you could imagine such a outlandish world,
yeah,
and you wanted a bike that did that, but perhaps not as well, where are you putting your cash?
Old Multistrada or Africa Twin DCT.
Interesting. So why DCT? Because that's always thought, for me, that gearbox, I've never tried it, and maybe I'm unfairly biased.
It's just, there's something, that's the only bike. It's only Honda doing DCT, it's different. The engine works well. I was a Honda fanboy before I worked at BM. So I enjoy riding a DCT, I like it off-road. It will be bomb-proof forever. So yeah, that's what I have.
No, interesting. So one thing I do know, and as Steve Ridge, one of your colleagues at Dick Lovett, keeps telling me that I bought a Ducati Monster and I bought the wrong motorcycle and I should have bought an F900R. In your collection right now is an F900R. Did I buy the wrong bike?
The Ducati is up there with everything else. Character-wise, I was somewhere between Tuono 660 and MT09 SP.
Amazing bike.
Amazing bike, but to live with, the tech on the BM's better, dashboard, sat nav, the apps are better, and I prefer the engine. Like MT09 SP's fun on a test ride, but it's tiring to live with and ride all day fast. And F900 offset twin is lovely, which is why I've just changed it for another F900.
So I should say that Mike's come on his F900 GS, a bike that I enjoy to ride myself. I feel that the 900, when they made it, they only had to copy the Tenere, and they haven't quite copied it, and they've maybe missed the mark a little bit. And conversely, I've thought maybe if the Desert X and the F900 could have a baby, then you've got a great bike.
Yeah, maybe I can see part of that argument. The Tenere is amazing, but F900's a step on. It's plusher, more finish, more pop.
So imagine I'm a customer, and I will say actually for people out there, I bought my first BMW from Mike, which is a GS Trophy some 5 years ago.
Very good bike.
Very good bike. It was a rally actually, HP one, wasn't it? But interesting actually, before I asked the question, I had a normal suspension bike and I hated it because I couldn't get on with the height, and then I just had a lower GS for my last one and it became the best bike I'd ever owned. And that difference in that height took it from a terrible bike for me to ride to an amazing bike. Anyway, so I'm walking in as a Joe Blow today, and I haven't had a BMW before, and you want to sell me that 900 GS. How are you selling it?
Just send you out on it and hope that you know about motorbikes.
And if I don't know about bikes, how are you going to convince me that's the bike I should be putting my cash into?
I'm not very good at that type of... Oh, I can't say that on camera. I'm not very good at that type of selling features and benefits. It just is a magic combination. I don't generally like big front wheel bikes, and I think the road holding's amazing, the geometry is amazing, engine character is amazing, quick shifter is amazing, dash is amazing. It's comfortable to ride all day. It's plush. It's probably my favourite current bike in the range.
Well, You heard it here first. A plush motorcycle. I thought it was super comfortable, really nice and easy.
It is a magic combination. I don't generally like big front wheel bikes, and I think the road holding's amazing, the geometry is amazing, engine character is amazing, quick shifter is amazing, dash is amazing. It's comfortable to ride all day. It's plush. It's probably my favourite current bike in the range.
I thought it was super comfortable, really nice and easy to ride. I would have liked the exhaust to be a little bit louder.
Every modern bike's getting quieter and quieter and quieter. That's life now with the Euro emissions. We're losing
Character, I guess.
Yeah, the 900s, I don't know so much on the 13, but the modes are more pronounced now, so it pops, bangs, farts, sounds awesome on quick shifter now. Like, if you don't get one without Dynamic Pro, it's quite bland. I don't know if the 13 changes.
Not especially, no.
The 900 are mint on Dynamic Pro mode. Bang, bang, through the gears.
So what's your current lineup of bikes? What have you got? What's in the stable?
I've got a 2006 single cam GS Adventure that I'm going to try and off-road. Got my 2012 twin cam GS, which is just art I just was looking at.
So just if you stop there a second, for the benefit of other, you said it's just art. What?
It's got 80 miles on it now.
That's 80, by the way.
I can't ride it without devaluing it, or I don't want to even get the downpipes to be too hot. It is. It's just in my garage to look at. Got an old Aprilia Tuono.
What year?
03, something like that.
1000.
Yeah, twin.
Yeah.
That makes nice noises. Got nice brakes, nice bits on it, and an old Fireblade, 06 Fireblade.
And the F900.
And the F900, yeah. It's quite a few, isn't it?
It's a nice
Considering I'm cutting down.
So I think the key thing, actually, it's interesting for me, is you've got a range of bike that do a range of things. And is that a part of your consideration when you're buying that bike fulfills a very specific or identifiable purpose?
No, I just want to experience them, just so I know what I'm talking about. I just want to. Aprilia Tuono is one of the original roadsters, factory parts on it. It's a nice thing. I just want to own one, see what it's like.
What's the worst bike you've had?
Harley Sportster.
Which one?
Just a standard 883 Sportster.
Because I've had two 1200 Sportsters, two 48s, and I thought they were very good bikes.
I'll own another. I'm not anti-Harley, just that particular bike was one of the few things I bought new, and bits fell off it, and every rumour was true. I looked cool when I went to Cheddar for a coffee, and then it was a pain in the neck to own after that.
So, what's your next bike?
Either 1300 automatic, like GSA, or another F900 with more spec on it, like the off-road suspension, the handguards, and cruise control. Is that one ain't got cruise control, and that annoys me.
So one last question for you. I don't know how many, I said it'd be 10 questions, I didn't count through them, but that's a handful of questions. But one last question for you from my point of view. Of all the bikes you know I've had, what should my next bike be?
1300 GSA or M1000 XR. M1000 XR get you YouTube views.
Yes.
1300 GSA would get you a nice holiday.
No, very good. Well, hopefully that was interesting. Thank you for answering some questions. If you want some help at Dick Lovett and you want someone with an encyclopedic knowledge, hunt out Mike. He's the desk as you come in on the right hand side, and if he's not in, Steve Ridge is equally capable to take care of you. Almost. And with that, if you can hit subscribe, that'd be great. Cheers.